Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome along to the Studio Rats Live Q&A number 177. As ever, my name's James Ivy.
I'm Paul Drew.
And you are very welcome to our weekly takeover, dust up, punch up, all those sort of things on the internet. It's been a busy week. It will certainly be being a busy week for many reasons. But it is tradition for us to start with the question, Mr. Drew, what have you been up to?
Not a lot. Not a lot, to be honest. A couple of videos. One coming out tomorrow. There's some new products coming out. Not tomorrow. Oh, there's some exciting products being sent, actually. And yeah. So just getting ready to do all that sort of stuff. Bit of research and stuff. Tried to learn Cliffs of Dover. Like the Cliffs of Scunthorpe.
It's really hard. It's really
intro that I'm interested in. It's that intro. The song I could give or take that. You know what I mean? I think the song's a bit cheesy, personally, but the intro is cheesy. Come on, come on, it's cheesy. Hey, I'm not saying it's not hard. But it's hey, you've frozen, by the way, in a really unattractive way.
I'm back now.
No, you're not. You've frozen on my screen. I don't know if you've frozen everyone else's screen. You might want to just turn on your internet and restart.
Right, I'm on my internet. I'm not on thingy.
Okay. Well, maybe we can find.
I'll refresh. Hang on 1 second.
See if he can. Hey, I'm on my own. Right. Let's get started. Actually, what we'll do is while we're waiting for him. Here he comes. He's in.
How's that?
Right. That's fine. You're back. Right. We're going to start with actually, no, tell us what you're doing, then we go to Nabsy's question.
What am I up to? So I was in start of the cheer season last weekend, which always makes things very, very busy for me. Right. So I was up in sunny Bolton over the weekend.
Nothing sunny about Bolton.
No, it really wasn't. There was quite a lot of me going, Bolton, a la Bo Selector. Busy doing videos. Interesting video that came out yesterday, which we should probably talk about at some point. The most confused amp sim ever.
I'm pretty confused. You might need to explain a few things to me, but
okie doke. Videos and stuff. I've basically, the other side of the door is getting really, really close. Greg was over last week, and we had a really good day of.
1 second. No one knows what you're talking about. No one knows what you're talking about. The other side of the door is getting close. Just explain to the viewers what you mean.
So where I am here, this side of the studio is pretty much ready. It's pretty much there. It's a bit messy, but there's a reason for the mess. The other side. That door, yes, because I'm untidy. That's basically it. The other side of that door, there was just some like an unfinished block room. We've now put some walls in and cupboards and stuff, and there'll be a kitchen in there, and it'll all be ready by the time we do the first Studio Rats live events day, which will be very exciting. That'll be one for the new year, but I'm just trying to get it all ready so I can get the house clear, ready for Christmas and all that sort of stuff. I mean, the fact that we're talking about the C word already is quite scary.
Oh, I see that C word.
Yeah, Christmas, yes. Other than that, yeah, it's all good.
Good.
Very busy, though.
Good. Should we start?
Please do.
Nabs, he says, hello, beautiful rats, and all. Hope all is well. Mr. Drew, how does your gorgeous McCarty 594 Hollowbody 2 is handling feedback compared to the 335? I didn't use both of them. I haven't used either of them live yet, so I don't know, to be honest. Apparently the 594 deals with feedback a lot better because it's a solid top as opposed to a laminate top. I don't know if that's just PRS's marketing.
Yeah, free card.
Yeah, it could be, but it's a hollow guitar as opposed to a sort of semi-hollow like the 335. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. And then I'll get to a gig.
I understand.
Excellent. And then Yeah, so I'll get to a gig and panic because it'd just be going. I'm very clean to stop it feeding back. So
I'm not sure about that because I say a friend of mine used to play a Gretsch, one of those Gretsch, not like a big country gent or anything like that, but one of those kind of slightly smaller ones, and that used to howl.
Yeah, a Gretsch actually. I don't know. Oh, actually, I haven't got a Gretsch anymore, have I?
No.
A Gretsch. I don't know if that's a laminate top or a solid top. I don't know. Interesting. Anyway, and a much bigger body on a Gretsch. It's like an acoustic.
This was one of those the thin ones, like a bit like the PRS. You know, one of those smaller kind of Les Pauly sized ones.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Johnny Love says prob in the news. But Epiphone Gibson will have to be careful as not to confuse the customer in future custom shop Epiphones with their new Gibson headstock costing more than some Gibsons. Absolutely bonkers. We are going to be talking about that. I think, yes, we are.
Yes, I think we are.
Yeah. Johnny says, why not give all their guitars the same blooming headstock? Call them Gibson USA or Gibson Overseas. Sorted, evening all. I do agree. I do agree with that, and there's a reason. Do you know that they weren't allowed to? So Epiphone weren't allowed to use the headstock.
No, because they were originally treated as two separate companies, weren't they?
Yeah.
Did you know that if you? I saw this on a Facebook post. If you get a Dean guitar, who we all know how much love Dean have or Gibson have for Dean, if you put a Dean headstock and a Gibson headstock together, they're the exact opposite of each other. They match.
I've heard that. I don't know if that's just an old wives' tale, but I did hear that as well.
They mate perfectly.
Yeah, they're excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Dodgy says, evening, Rats and all. I wonder if you could give us an insight into the gear you use to stream, cameras, mics, etc. I'm currently using an iPhone and it's a bit pants. Yeah. I did a video on this recently. I've definitely done a video on this before. But yeah, we can talk about it really quickly because a lot of people won't find it interesting.
It won't take long for me to explain it.
Actually, can we connect? Is there a way of being able to connect? Can you connect to your phone?
I could if I sent the link to myself and all that sort of stuff.
Can you not just plug in? Can you not just plug in your phone? Let me just double check on this.
No, I can't. I haven't got a cable handy for a start.
No, I was going to say
you'd had all sorts of feedback issues as well.
Okay, yeah, it's not worth doing. Okay, yeah. So oh god, it's to be honest, I wonder if everyone's going to find this a bit boring. And I'll be really quick. I use Panasonic Lumix S5s cameras. Got a couple of them, and I've got an ATEM Mini, which is a video switcher. There's a couple of Sony cameras here as well. So I've got 4 cameras that I switch between. Everything's sort of set up, and you can't see it. Can you not see that? There's another camera. It's on things like that, so you can push it about and stuff. And there's a microphone up here, which is all plugged into the cameras and that sort of stuff. It's probably a separate video because I think a lot of people would go, "Oh, this is boring as hell." But I love all that sort of stuff. And I've ordered a new camera actually.
My stream rig is really straightforward. That is my laptop, my Mac laptop.
Oh, for streaming. He's not. For streaming. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, you use all that for streaming, don't you? Because you're streaming now.
Yeah. I mean, I can turn on. Yeah, I can turn on the other cameras, and I'll do it. I'll do it now quickly. Yeah, I
haven't done that for the streaming stuff because my streaming rig is separate for having cameras all over the place, so it's a bit more complicated.
Yeah. So I can do this and switch between all different cameras.
So we get basically lots of different groin shots of you right now. And I'm just using my laptop, so that the microphone that you're hearing me on is my laptop, because it's easy. Hope that helps. We at this point we must pause because greatness has come amongst us. Please welcome Raphael.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
It's been a while since I've bothered you with interesting questions, I'm sure.
No, you're more than welcome to join us.
So tonight I join you with something to show. It's a bit of a show and tell.
Yes, show.
So I'm going to cover the brands, okay? And you have to guess what sort of thing is this.
Okay. I'm. No, hide the hairstyle. I can't see it yet. I can't tell. See the camera.
The camera is pretty bad because it's my MacBook. I usually use my iPhone as the camera, but StreamYard doesn't recognize it. So
That looks all right, doesn't it? Whatever it is. I mean, it looks like a half decent Relic job.
Okay, it's collected here.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool, isn't it?
So from this distance, seems like the farther it goes, the better it looks. Right?
Yeah. I have that problem.
And then if you get really close, you see the sort of atrocity that has been committed to this poor guitar.
I like it. I like that.
You could even see the lacquer cracks that have been perfectly made by using an X-Acto blade across willy-nilly. So
I'm going to go with a jet.
It's very, very close. It's very, very close. So if you guys follow our dear friend Steve Cassidy up north in Scotland, he's made a few videos of the Faisleys and the Jets being the same. So this is a Faisley, FSST, I think that's 720. And it's the same thing as the Jet 400.
Right.
So I'm just going to put you slightly closer to me. Hold on a bit. So yeah, so that sorry. Well, we lost. I killed it.
It's a Relic job. It's a Relic job. Is that from the factory? Has someone done that?
No, they're bad, but they're not that bad. Okay, no, this was me. This was all me. I get bored easily, and I don't have a lot of money, and so I wanted so what not to do. If you want a how-to of what not to do, is don't go to the range. Get high coat acrylic paint and spray a guitar, okay? And then following up from that, do not use a completely different brand of clear coat and just do 2/3 of the can and call it a day, and don't wait, and then not wait 24 hours and just put everything back on together because you can't wait for things to dry. So that's what not to do, because it's still if I leave this here for a while, it will get sticky.
Yeah.
So this is I was actually on my way to go to the garage to strip this back, and I thought, oh, they're online, I'm just gonna show it before I kill this.
I think that looks great. So it was originally a sunburst.
Yeah.
And then you've put that green over the top. Can I ask why did so? But you're putting a poly finish over the top of a poly finish, yeah?
Yeah.
And then you're trying to relic a poly finish, which is incredibly hard.
No, well. So, my idea was to use the poly finish sunburst as the backdrop to when you see those nice relics like the custom shop does. That is a paint over sunburst, and then you obviously also see the wood. But anything that goes past these points on a poly finish sort of going to be cracked and broken and everything. So, my idea was to try to do a refinish sort of all right. And at some point it was all right. But then when I was messing around with the pickups, I gained some distaste for the guitars. I'm going to punish you now. I'm going to. Who's the boss? I'm the boss. I'm going to. So I reliced it. So I started with this, and then I've expanded on the bit here and hit the part with a very specific tool called a screwdriver to make all these things. And then I saw the Tom Murphy interview with Lee from Andertons.
Yeah,
where I explained that how he does it, and I thought, oh, I'm not going to do any of that. No, he did say that at some point he used a scalpel to simulate the lacquer cracks.
Yeah.
And Maybach, the European company, also does that, and a lot of others do that. So I thought, well, I have a blade somewhere around. Let's see. Well,
But they do it with nitro finish, not with poly finish.
Well, the top is an acrylic finish now.
Oh, what's the difference?
I don't know.
Chemistry. It's nitro, poly, or acrylic. There are three different types of paint.
Yeah, okay. But nitros you can relic and you can crack and you can do all sorts of things to make it easy. But with a poly finish, because it's so thick and it's if you dent it, it will just crack, and it cracks in a really nasty way. It doesn't crack like a vintage guitar.
So what Paul is referring to is an abomination of a guitar that I have here.
Oh, that looks great. I think that looks great, mate.
It looks really. It looks a damn sight better.
It looks way better than James's.
Than the Relic job someone did on this thing.
Well, that's
someone. Who was it?
Oh, it wasn't me. This was basically, this was someone with a screwdriver taking chunks out of the poly finish.
Yeah,
I mean that's what happens to a poly finish. It
chips. Awful.
It's awful, mate. That is an abomination. That.
If I was to do it again, and maybe that's what you could do with that guitar, is just send it to 300 grit sort of thing, or 400 grit, but even lower. Like the lower the better, until it becomes proper coarse. So 300 grit is a good medium. Send everything around, right? So primer first, which I didn't use here. It was a mistake because then you have to use more paint. But if you have funds to spend just on top coats, just go. And then the color in itself, it's whatever. It doesn't have to be nitro. Nitro, in my opinion, was what they used at the time because that's what the cars used. But if it was today, they would have used something else. Mm-hmm. Just make sure to use the same system and then paint everything. And as long as it's thin, it's not going to be that hard. Have you guys tried to strip a guitar, a poly finish guitar? It's like half. It's like a millimeter or two. We're never going to do that at home with spray cans or something. So then what I did with actually this screwdriver, I can't even demonstrate it because I was going to strip it either way, is just hit it like that. And as you can see, it is those sorts of things.
Yeah. Perfect. This was done. This was done by someone digging chunks out of it with a screwdriver.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. But
the truth of the matter is, the guitar plays really nicely. I'm so gonna load the next. I'm probably, as we'll talk about later, I'm gonna get an alternative body, and I'll just take the body off, take everything off, and then I'll have,
Thank God. And burn it. burn it.
It can be sacrilegiously burnt.
Yes, we'll do that. Oh, nice one, mate. I think that looks great, but good luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it all off because I ordered a water-based finishing system, and gonna be trying to put that on, and then most likely take everything that is valuable off this guitar and put it for like 70 quid. Which brings me to another point. Your audience must be like, who's this guy? Why is he taking over?
No, I'm not sorry.
I'm coming up with this. I make videos as well, like really bad ones, or like in terms of quality of playing and content. But mid-price guitars is where brands go to die.
Mid-price guitars, yeah.
Mid-price guitars. So first, what would you say is mid-priced?
We could get in trouble for this.
This is very dangerous because it used to be that if you wanted a cheap Gibson-esque guitar, and by cheap I meant like 300-400 quid, you bought an Epiphone. But these days, some Epiphones are 4 figures.
Oh yeah,
I would say a mid-price guitar is £1,000.
Okay. See, I would say 500. I would say 600-700 to £1,000 is mid-priced.
I would agree more with James here.
Would you?
But
purely because I mean it's mid-priced for me. It's not mid-priced for you, mate, because your mid-price is £2,000.
Sure, yeah, but if you look at the price, if you look at cheap guitars, so a cheap guitar is 100 quid, and you can pick up a crappy guitar for 100 quid, and a really expensive guitar, and you can pay more than this, is £10,000. So I'm saying 10, cheap is so £1,000 to me is a mid-price guitar. I'm not saying that I feel that £1,000 isn't a lot of money. £1,000 is a lot of money, but
for a guitar.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, it's a lot of money for anything.
Period. Really, 1,000 quid these days.
Well, that's I understand, and I don't have the budget, but it's like If you want to buy a car, you have to buy at prices of cars. If you want to buy a house, you have to look at prices of houses.
Yeah.
If you want to buy a guitar, you have to look at prices in the scheme of guitars. It's like my wife was also, oh, these guitars are so expensive. So I took her to Sound Effects in Ormskirk, and it's like, oh, I get it. There's guitars that are really expensive because they store like the PRSs and the Seth Backus and all the other custom-made guitars. It's an interesting thought experiment because, like James said, the Epiphones, like the Greenie, was just released yesterday, right? £1,500 for a not rosewood fretboard. I don't understand that choice.
Not
Indian
rose-
Laurel. No, it's Indian Laurel.
Oh, we'll have to talk about that. I have to look at the spec. That is
So my idea was, if you look at American-made guitars, there's only real two legacy brands that we can talk of, which is Fender and Gibson, right? When they start making full fat guitars, is the Fender Performer, right? Which sits there around £1,000, and the first top bound Les Paul is the classic, right? So you're talking between £1,000 and £1,600. So anything below that, it's like low mid. Above that, let's call it upper mid, something like that. But the £500 to £1,000 is what I meant by where guitar brands go to die. Because, and I have specimens to showcase as well.
Yeah, do it.
So let me show you. First, let me see if you know what this is, if you've seen this before.
Oh, I know the scratch plate. That is a Fret King, yeah.
That's right. Okay. So interesting things. The pickup configuration straight away, right?
Yeah.
It has so this volume, the first tone is for the bridge because that's where it's good, right? Where the mod is done.
Okay.
It has two push knobs, not push-pull, push-push. One splits the bridge humbucker, and this is one of P100, and the second one adds the neck pickup to the bridge to the other ones. So it's like an S1 thing. Wilkinson, good Wilkinson tram with the offset, locking tuners, rosewood, £645. No one knows what this is. You go on YouTube, you click it, it has like 10 videos altogether. That's by Guitar Magazine and some people that they gave to. But it's a great guitar. It's like a gigging guitar. Perfect. Yeah. You can do the all function, get all the sounds. Great. All right. Second case. Same Fret King, right? Telecaster. Also to mention, these guitars are slightly offset. So the bottom is not flat. It goes slightly offset. 5-way switch with a vari coil that brings in this unique looking humbucker pickup here and the bridge. There is just one thing that I don't quite understand is why none of these settings is neck and bridge, which is the Telecaster thing. Yeah. Again, 600 something pounds, Graphtec nuts, vintage tuners, Wilkinson tuners, compensated brass saddles, everything. 600 something pounds, much better than any Fender player. Yeah, no one really cares. And lastly, the one that really hurts me, because this guitar, it's really, really good.
Is that? Oh, that's a. Hold on. Is that? Oh. Yeah, Shergold. Yeah,
Shergold.
Yeah. So that's great, isn't it?
It's so good. This guitar is so good. It's like
this is a Patrick Eggle design.
Yes, yeah.
Seymour Duncan, P90 on the neck. Seymour Duncan pearly gates on the bridge with a push for the neck for the bridge pickup.
Wow!
So you can have like rhythm, trebly, soft one, and then solos go back to neck. And if you want to have something heavier, you can come back to the pearly gates as well. Unique looking locking tuners. I don't know. I don't think this is rosewood, but it's some sort of exotic.
I think it's roasted. It looks roasted.
I think it's roasted mahogany or something.
I think those Shergolds are roasted. And ebony
and ebony fingerboards, £800, and they do not move. They go for sale like on used for £500. This guitar, if it was something else, will be over £1,000 easily anywhere in the world, or anywhere like in other market. But mid price is where guitar brands go to die, and I don't understand why don't what I wanted to ask you really was, because you have like really good taste, let's say expensive taste for guitars, as you just proven recently. Is it because newer players or players that play at home want to have the classics? Really experienced players are not looking into these sort of guitars, which leaves gigging players and experimental players to look into this, and that's a market that's too small to sustain brands?
I think it's all about promotion. So these companies need to get these guitars in front of young bands, and they need to give the guitars to the younger bands and support those bands with those guitars, because the new the kids that are up and coming and starting to learn guitar that are watching these bands, if a band's playing a Shergold, those the aspiring or the kids that like those bands are going to go, that's a cool guitar, and I could sound like him if I buy that guitar. But that's what they're doing, and also they're not getting it in YouTubers' hands.
I think there's I won't say a deeper problem, but I think this is it's all about aspiration.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at of those 3 guitars you pulled out just now, 2 of them desperately want to be something else. Yes, they have other features, they have better stuff, they have other goodies and other tricks and stuff, but one desperately wants to be a Telecaster and one wants to be a Stratocaster. The thing with aspiration is nobody aspires to buy a Fret King. People aspire to play a Strat.
Yeah,
and you won't change that, I don't think.
It's not just that, but Fender are really good at supporting young artists. Fender are really good at that, because if you look, even like Bruno, I mean, I'm not saying Bruno Mars is young. Oh God, you're not drinking again. It's all going to go to pot. But even like the Bruno Mars Strat, which came out a couple of weeks ago,
nobody has a young audience, for example.
Yeah, it's got a young audience, and kids are going, oh great, so I can do that. And
even if they don't buy the signature one, they'll get the Made in Mexico or the Squire, because it's the brand that is promoting.
And Fender have got that sorted, but Gibson haven't got that. So I mean, I know we're not talking about Gibson with all the guitars that you're showing, but Gibson aren't doing that. Gibson are doing, let's come out with a Kurt Hammett, or let's come out with an Adam Jones Flying V, which we're talking about later on. And
or a SG,
Yeah, but the young kids are going, we don't give a shit about Kurt Hammett. We don't give a shit about Brian, Adam Jones. Brian Jones. And he said Brian Jones.
Jones.
They're doing it. So Fender are going, no, do you know what we're doing? We're going to support all the young up and coming artists. We're going to go, Josh, there's a guitar. Support that. Support that. And the kids are seeing these bands playing these guitars. So they're going, that's the guitar I want. Ibanez is the same.
Yeah. It's funny. I teach at rock, do lots of rock school type stuff, and the guitar players, there are 2 distinct camps. There are the camp of guitar players that want to play the vintage classic looking guitars, Strats, Tellys, Les Pauls, and there are the Super Strat guys who buy an Ibanez RG because it's that pointy
it's efficiency, ergonomics, and everything.
Yeah, I mean, but these kids don't know about that yet. But they went into the shop and they saw pointy guitar and went, I want that.
I don't even think it's that. I think they look at the people that they want to be and they go, he's playing that guitar.
Okay. I don't have many more guitars to show, really.
Is that an East? It's an Eastman.
That's Reverend. Is it Reverend?
Eastman.
Eastman,
Juliet.
That's great.
And so going towards what Paul was saying about marketing, Eastman is a brand that I think has done the right moves to get guitars in front of people.
Yeah.
And although there is no big artist that is currently playing Eastman, it has created enough buzz that the guitars, although they're made in China, they have all the spiel about how they're made and how they feel and the quality and everything.
Yeah.
That has a consistent set of buyers that can go from young to older and everyone in between, and it gets recognized. It's starting to get recognized. People like, oh, that's an Eastman. That's a quality guitar. That was it.
And I think those Eastmans are great. They look great. The only thing for me about Eastman is that they're not getting them in enough people's hands.
But the problem is that all of the guitars that I have here, and Paul's is different because obviously you've got a lot of seriously high-end guitars, but all the guitars I have here, I would trade up. You know, I'd trade up for the next one higher. That you know, I'd happily swap my Les Paul, my Strats, whatever, blah blah blah, for the next one up. I haven't got a guitar that I'd go,
I'm happy with that.
No, but I've got lots of guitars I'm happy with, but that guitar is weird and does a thing that only that guitar does. I just think, you know, it's the I think Rhett Scholl's done videos on it. Tim Pierce has. You need about 5 guitars. You need a Strat, a Les Paul, a Tele, something with P90s, and something hollow. That's what you need.
It's good. And to be honest, mate, no one's going to know if you're on a track and you were playing a 58 Les Paul, or you were playing that Shergold.
No one's going to care.
Right, no one cares. No one's going to know. It is all snobbery. The only reason why I buy expensive guitars is because I know that those guitars are going to be worth what I paid for it. That's the only reason.
Yeah, because all of these that I have, if they were bought new, straight away I'd lost half my money.
Yeah,
because although the reason why I got them in part was because they are those archetypes, but unique, with like a quirky thing, right? As long as resale value is concerned, it's a complete loss. You can find them great deals used because of that, but yeah.
And that's buy them secondhand. That's fantastic. You know, you can do that. You can go and buy one of those guitars secondhand.
But brands can't prosper or continue to exist if the only reason why we buy them is because they're great deals because of all the lost value on the used market. So, which brings me to another question: should brands do more to guarantee secondhand value? For example, a great idea that I had today while I was picking up the kids. Should brands have like buyback programs that, like, at least I'll give a percentage of whatever that guitar is worth, so there will never be guitars that would sell new for £800 for sale on the used market for £300, because they would always buy back for like £400. At least you know that, oh, I'm tired with that guitar, I'm just going to send it back to Shergold, and they'll sell it back as a refurbished and still make some money on it.
I think that's genius. I think that's absolutely...
I'll copyright that before someone takes it.
I love the idea. I just think no brand will adopt it because it involves giving money back. If a brand can... So okay, let's just say, for example, you buy a Fender player for 700 quid. I'm making the numbers up now, but I'm probably not far out.
No, it's about that.
New for about 700 quid, and you buy it from Anderton's, and you go back a week later and saying, this isn't the one I want, and you say to them, but what I actually want is a Strat Plus, which is, let's say, $2,000. Anderton's will give you the 700 back that you spent on that guitar because you're going to spend another 1,300 quid with them. They'd be absolutely bonkers not to. If you went to Anderton's and said, look, I'm really sorry, I've spent too much, I don't need a £700 guitar, I need a £400 guitar, they're going to say, oh, well, we'll give it to you as credit. No brand is going to give you money back. They're just not, because there isn't the money in the system at the moment. You know, back in the 80s when SSLs were selling for 10 a penny for $1 million a throw, and SSL were flying around in helicopters and private jets and stuff, there was money in the system. At the moment, there isn't, because there's so much stock out there at the moment, an overstock by so many companies. There isn't the money around.
Yeah, and I think Rafa's point is that if you've got like a Mexican Fender and you want to upgrade that guitar, what a great way to keep, you know, so you go into a guitar shop and you can say, well, I now want to go and spend 1,500 quid on an upgrade on this. And someone says, okay, well, you know, you can go and buy a Sir. I know you can't for that money, but, you know, you can go and buy a Sir. Well, if Fender goes, well, hold on a second, well, we'll give you a discount because you've already got one of our guitars, and we'll do that. And it keeps people paying, you know, buying that brand. I think that's a good idea.
But most good shops will do that. It doesn't have to be a thing that Fender do.
The shop will do it, but the shop's got no loyalty to sell you that brand.
No, but the shop would say, right, you know, you bought this from us a year ago for, let's say, 500 quid. We'll give you 200, and then they'll sell it for 250.
No, they won't. That never happens. This is really funny. So I had the opportunity to buy a couple of guitars today, and the guitars have also been offered to GAC, so Guitar Amp and Keyboard, which is a shop down in Brighton, in case anyone doesn't know. And Guitar Amp and Keyboard offered what the guitar's worth. They offered a quarter of what they're worth, a quarter of what they could sell for, because they're going to put another
30%
tax and everything.
They're going to put 30% on because that's what their markup is.
Yeah, and actually, it was more than that. It was more than that. They should do that, but they're buying a much reduced rate
because people at the moment need the money, and shops know that.
Yeah,
and there's other aspects, which my suggestion was more in line of lesser known brands to do this, because you can always sell a Fender or a Gibson sort of for the value, even in a shop.
I want
to places like sell your guitar, sell us your guitar, something like that. But less brands that are not as known, like Fred King, like Shergold, like Reverend, like Gordon Smith, like Crimson Guitars, like PJD, like all these brands. And I'm focusing more on the UK because we're really wide. That need this boost of, I'm not going to buy, like, I don't want to even risk getting into that guitar because that's a boat anchor that I'm going to have on my life, and I'm going to lose completely all the money. Instead of buying a Fred King, I'm just going to go get a Fender because at least I get 2/3 of the money back on the used market. It was more of an initiative to get some of these brands, and maybe it will be working with shops, maybe something like that. Because even if you go to a shop and you offer like, oh, I have this guitar that I bought for £600, but they know that they're not going to sell it because it's going to stick to the walls, they'll give you less money for it.
Let me... we are now, but great. I mean, we've clearly hit on a thing tonight, which is great. Can I bring Vinny in at this point? Vinny the Axe is going to join us. There he is.
What's up, guys?
Hello, mate. You all right?
Yeah, doing good. How you guys doing?
Good. All good. Thanks, mate. All good.
Do you want to chime in on this, the current state of the guitar industry?
Sure. Well, here in the States, it's the same thing. Like if you bring a guitar into, like, let's say Guitar Center, let's say, like what Paul was saying, if the guitar is worth $2,000 new, and they're going to probably give you about $600 or $700 in a trade-in, and then they're going to sell it probably for, they're always going to give you at least half or a little bit less of what the guitar sells for used.
Exactly.
You're gonna get hammered. You might as well give it to a friend, or unless you paid hardly nothing for the guitar, and then, like you were talking about the brands earlier, like you're saying, something wants to be a Strat or something wants to be a Gibson. People don't like change. A lot of people don't like change, and they want to stick with the classics. And for instance, I had a Mod Shop Flying V, which I wanted to show you, but I sold it. I had the opportunity to make $1,000 on it. I made $1,000 on it because it was like I find that I'm really into the Relic stuff because I'm OCD. I'd rather buy something that's already scratched up before I damage it. Otherwise, if it gets scratched, I have to get rid of it. It's a mental thing.
Cheap. I'll sell it for you cheap. Easy.
Hold on. I got my own.
What is that? What is that? I saw that in the background. What is that? Look at that.
This is a war moth build that I put together, and then I spent about $300 on nitrocellulose paint. Did the whole works on it. Wasn't thrilled with it because it came out really nice. And I told my wife, man, I really wanted to relic this thing. She's like, then relic it, and I did. So
that looks great. Well, great, you've done a great job, mate.
Great, yeah.
You know what's funny is it had no flaws in it. I got it painted, and it wasn't a run. There wasn't a bug stuck on it. There was not a piece of dust under the paint. And then I reliced it. Now, if I went with the full intentions of making it perfect, something bad would have happened to it. It's the laws. It's the laws there. But I want to doing my own logo, cut it out, did the water slide. It's sprayed over. It's got my last name on there, so nobody's going to want it. But, did the neck, the whole works.
Lovely.
What have you got? They got DiMarzio's in there.
Yeah, DiMarzio's. I did this has had like 5 sets of pickups in it. So I remember when I initially talked to you with my plans on doing the quarter pound, you shook your head when I was talking to you, but we got interrupted somehow, or I must have interrupted you. You never got to tell me your thoughts, but I will tell you that the quarter pound and the 59 I had was really weird. They almost sounded identical in tone when I switched. It was whacked. It was almost like I wasn't even switching to another pickup, and it didn't work out. And I was like, you know what? Paul shook his head when I was watching that, and he must have had thoughts about it. So anyway, this has been through Fat 60, custom shops, the whole works. I finally settled on. I did a job for somebody. I put a tone zone and a cruiser in an old Washburn for a customer because I do like some work on the side, right? And it sounded killer. So I was like, listen, I'm stealing your idea. This is awesome. So I put a tone zone in here. I put the cruiser in there, and I made it look a la Steve Vai, kind of 80s, the 80s out, or whatever you want to call it. And it plays superb.
I love it.
It plays superb. And you know what? With the nice light nitro, the guitar resonates really, really well, and it plays really fantastic.
That's a nice wood on that as well. It looks like that body.
This is Carina.
Is it? Oh, so it's light then.
Yeah, it's Carina. So I actually, and then what I did is because the Carina had a weird look to it, after I did the relicking, I went back and stained it, whatever exposed parts, to kind of darken it up a little bit.
Nice.
So yeah, it actually worked out really cool. So I've been I have a whole bunch of stuff coming in. I have a massive problem, really, but
you're amongst friends. Don't worry, Vinny.
Yes, I know.
It's a safe space here.
It's only a problem if you can't afford it. That's what I think.
This just came in. Rock and roll relics.
Oh, nice.
Thunders 2.
Oh, that looks cool, doesn't it?
Slightly relic, I don't know if you can see here. I'm on an iPad, so this is kind of hard to show, but
looks great.
It does look is that an expensive guitar?
Yeah, they run about $2,800 up to, depending on who's got them, to about, I've seen up to $4,000 or $5,000 depending on the model. I got this secondhand off of somebody, cleaned it up, polished the frets. It's got Mojo tone pickups in there, in the bridge and the P90, Emerson wiring harness, and the Kluson tuners. The thing plays like $1 million. And I tend to I just had an H150 Heritage.
Yeah.
That the second one I've owned now. I don't think I like the arch top. I play with my hand flailed open, and I seem to ground my pinky to the top of the guitar, and I don't like the suspended pickguard on a Les Paul. And what happens is it's like a drop off, and I tend to not like it. So I think this junior style flat top, like I had a Nags like this, was a good guitar. I wound up selling it, but it's pretty cool,
Nice one.
Very nice.
I got another LSL since the last time I talked to you.
Oh, let's have a look.
Ooh,
butterscotch with a flame neck.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Isn't that pretty?
Got this secondhand.
Is it a what model is it?
It's the Bone 1, I think. Bone 1, I call it.
Yeah.
It just has a really flamey neck on it. Probably the best telly I've ever owned, and I've had some custom shops.
Yeah, they do. They do make some nice guitars.
And check this out.
Oh,
don't show me the headstock. Okay. I'm trying to guess what that is. That is stunning, isn't it? Look at that.
Is that the Penga from Indonesia?
Mm-mm.
Is that Kiesel?
Kiesel.
Here's a Kiesel. Yeah, that's. I've seen that paint job they've done on a guitar before with the white back and the so good, isn't it?
That looks really cool.
So what's the deal with because we don't really get Kiesels in the UK.
Okay, so I've owned probably 15 Kiesels, 20 Kiesels, and probably 10 to 15 Carvins. Now this is my personal opinion, so people are probably going to flip out, whatever. Everybody's got their thing. What I have discovered is, in 30 years of doing this and not becoming a very good guitar player, just more buying crap, is that manufacturers seem to wire the pickups have a certain EQ quality to them, whatever you want to say. Like I think DiMarzios have a certain I call it a compression that they have. It's a characteristic of that particular pickup, right? I don't get along with the Kiesel pickups. I don't like the carbon pickups, and I definitely don't like the Kiesel pickups, except for the Holsworth one, which I like the sound of that, the EQing of it. And it's just personal preference. And I find that every time I buy one of these things, I wind up not jiving with it because I don't dig the way it sounds. They put elixirs on there, which might flip out some people too. I think elixirs, they last forever, great. But I think compared to a regular set of strings on a similar guitar, which I have owned, multiple of the same type, I think they sound dead out of the package in comparison to a regular string because they're coated in plastic or whatever they are. So I think that coupled with, if I don't like the EQing of the pickup and the strings, I tend to not like go, man, I'm not digging this anymore, and I wind up selling it. So what I did with this is as soon as I got it, I knew immediately. I started playing. I did not like the thorium pickup in here, some new pickup they have. It's for heavy metal, I guess, new metal. And so I put a DiMarzio tone zone in here because this guitar is very bright. It's a very bright guitar. It's alder, maple. And I decided to put something that had a little bit of a darker EQ to it or something with the highs brought down. And it looked like the tone zone fit the bill. And the guitar sounds phenomenal and plays great. So I think a lot of time when people, I would say that the workmanship is good. I've never really had a bad one. Issue maybe with one, but their workmanship's good. The frets are polished really nice. They do a great job, but they are still insistent on doing their own pickups, and that's cool. I just don't particularly care for them. Personal opinion, I don't like them. And I've learned that from like Lawler. I literally like sorry about that. I literally like how Lawler EQs their pickups to my ears. And so I find that certain people, we can't hear through somebody else's ears. And I think there's a certain groups of people that probably hear a certain way. Yeah. And like me, high frequencies drive me crazy, so I don't know what the answer is. I think you have to go with what you think you like the best and just stick with it. Otherwise you just keep spinning your wheels like I've done all these years. I've had more guitars than I can count or remember. And it's a massive sickness. It's I don't drink, smoke, or gamble or do anything like that, but this is definitely my vice, and it's nutty. And think about this a second. People's hygiene is messed up, and this is going to go in a weird way, but people, if you ever use a men's room, you can tell that certain people's hygiene is not right. Well, how many people probably clean their ears properly and get all the wax out of them, which cuts out frequencies, right? And then certain people work for companies that make amplifiers and work on a tone circuit. And what winds up happening is you wind up with a tone circuit and an amplifier that might be too fizzy or too high, all based on one human or maybe a couple of people's ears. Yeah. And then we all have to deal with it as the consumer. And that's why certain amplifiers, how many guys work for these companies that are deaf from playing on stage in their own personal bands all these years, and they can't hear stuff. So I know I went on a rant on that, but it's stuff. I look at stuff from outside the box sometimes.
No, you're right, mate. You're right. And the funny thing about Kiesel is, and Carvin is that they're originally a pickup manufacturer. But the good thing about Kiesel is I'm sure you can send pickups in and they'll fit the pickups to a guitar that you buy.
Absolutely, they will. You send them in, you tell them what your order number is, and they'll install all the stuff for you. So that's really cool. And I'm really faithful to the company. Like I said, I've spent a lot of money with them. And if you're looking for something particular, you could always order it for them and get what you want, but you're going to pay a little extra. Like I've had them do weird things for me that they normally didn't do. I was the first customer, I think, to get their Les Paul shape with a tremolo on it. They had to reprogram the computers to do that for the first CS3, I think it was. And I paid an extra $150 for that. And then after about a few months, and I was showing the pictures on some forums, they opened it up as an option. So
cool.
Yeah. So I mean, they'll do whatever you want. It's just, are you willing to spend the money and wait?
You got some nice amps back there as well.
Yeah, I've been really digging the Magnetone, man. I tell you what, I have. I went from the '80s metal guy to still the old '80s metal guy, but for whatever reason, and here's the other thing. I thought all this time I liked the sound of a Marshall. Marshall's my thing, right? and I buy Marshalls. I don't like the sound, you know. And then what I wind up with is stuff that I actually enjoy the tone of is the Tone King. I really love this little amp. The Magnatone is awesome with the 210 extension cabinet. And then I bought this Carl's Custom Amplification. You'll see him on Reverb here or there. He's a private, like a very small seller, and it's a 5-watt Vox amplifier with a 112 Alnico Blue Dog Weber speaker in there. So I wanted something to kind of run wet and dry with the Tone King. So instead of having 2 amps the same, I have one Fender-esque and one Vox sounding amp in a wet and dry kind of thing.
Nice.
And then the Magnatone came later, which is kind of nutty. So
nice, mate. Really nice. Got some nice stuff there.
Very cool.
Yeah, the next thing I got coming in is a 2023 69 Fender Custom Shop Heavy Relic Strat.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. With a big headstock.
With the big headstock. It's 6105 frets. It's got a JB in the bridge. We'll see how I get on with that. Pan wound fat 60s in the neck in the middle, and it's in a Daphne blue color, and maple fingerboard, maple neck. It's really wicked looking. So I'm kind of excited. I sold my Fender Custom Shop Strat a couple weeks ago, him and hawing about it. They decided I wanted to keep an Aristides, which I also have. That just came in not too long ago, which I like. I thought I was going to like that better than the Strat. I sold my Strat, then missed the Strat. So I think the Aristides is up for sale. I'll sell that, and then I'm just going to get this other Strat coming in. And then I got to stop for a while, man. It's going kind of nutty over here.
I know everyone says it's a sickness, but it really is. You see a guitar and you go, what can I sell to get that guitar?
Yeah, it is dangerous though, because I get it as well. I mean, I love buying gear. I love buying gear, but it's that initial, endorphin rush that you get, and then you go, oh, right, what's next?
Right. Well, James, you're right on point though, because you brought this up. I think you were talking about it before. What I'm trying to do is not do over redundant stuff. Like my initial thing was I buy something, then I buy like 3 or 4 of them or whatever. And I don't, that's like a mental sickness, I think. So what I'm trying to do is one Telly, one mahogany neck, single cut type of guitar, one Strat, and just kind of just chill out for a minute and start working on more content, for the channel, and maybe actually learn how to play the guitar. That could be kind of cool too. I don't know.
Same.
Call me crazy.
I think we're all in that boat. I mean, say I put a video out this week where I'm playing guitar mostly on it, which was quite scary.
Yeah, you did a good job at that.
No, dude. Oh, I was hysterical laughing when you did the little intermission with the jazz lines, and Paul, your face. I was laughing my ass off. That was the funniest thing. I loved it. It was like classic, almost like Monty Python with like intermission in there. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome.
I think sometimes my humor gets taken for rudeness, and I never mean it rude. But it often gets taken. I think I'm so dry sometimes that it often gets taken for rudeness, and it's never meant.
I've watched every episode of Only Fools and Horses, man. I get it.
Ah, mate, good man. Classic.
My favorite show. What the writing is awesome.
It's awesome stuff.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. It's been really nice to have you on. I mean, it's been great to chat to someone other than that bloke.
It's always been
oh, excuse me.
Yeah. Good talking to you guys. Paul, you going to keep the Paul Reed Smith?
Yeah. I can't. I love it, to be honest. I love it. I mean, I've never said. What's that?
It was microphone. Sorry.
You never say never. But at the moment, it's fantastic. It's a really great guitar.
This week.
I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with guitars at the moment. I'm looking for something else, which is why I looked at your rock and roll relics, because there's a who makes it? Nick Huber make a.
I've owned 3.
Oh, any good?
Yes. So I own 2 Crousters.
Yeah.
And I owned a what they call Pete, I think it's called. It's named after his son, I think.
Yeah.
And so this is what I will say: the guitars are exquisite. They are absolutely the best I've ever put my hands on as far as like the craftsmanship and how it's designed. It's awesome. The necks are super fat, like baseball bat fat. Like that was the only thing I somewhat did not care for. It used to hurt my hand after a while playing them. The pickups that they have in there are kind of cool. But I just, for whatever reason, I've owned 3 of them, and I just didn't get along with the thickness of the neck. So I mean, you know, it depends on what you're into and what you like. You know, like this rock and roll Relic has like a 60s style neck on it, and I tend to think that I'm going towards that way, to a thinner neck profile than a fatter neck profile. I find that it does something. The thickness does something to the tendons in my arm, and I start to get like pain up in here, like a tennis elbow or whatever.
Yeah, I like guitars like I like my women, fat necks.
Well, you'll like the Nick Cooper.
Hi, love.
My wife's time. I'm only messing about.
And we wonder why there's very few girls who watch this channel.
Before I go, can I just share one last thing with you guys?
Yeah.
So Vinny was showing that LSL with the really flaming neck, and I remembered that I have this guitar on loan here.
Oh, look at that. What's that?
It's a Bolt guitar. Well, I think last time I was here, I was like asking about if you had seen it. It's the DIY product that it's based in Preston.
I've seen one of these somewhere. Maybe they were at a guitar show.
Well, they had the guitar show a couple of weeks ago.
Probably.
But yeah, maybe. Yeah, that was great, mate.
So it's like £400.
Yeah,
and it comes in a box, like an IKEA box or a thing, and you paint it and you assemble it and you solder it. But they have a video showing everything how to do it.
No, that was it. Yeah. We were talking to them. We were talking to the company
with Bob and Sam and Martin.
Yeah, and I said, "I'll send us one over. I'd love to do a video on it," and it all just went dead. And again, it's a company that doesn't do that. You know, you're not asking for money and stuff. You're just asking, just send it. This is going to make great content, and they don't do it. And then they don't. Give it to some other YouTube channel that you like, whatever.
I have this on loan because I went to their shop and they lent it to me, but it's on loan and going to be back. I did some content, but my content is really basic.
Nice neck.
Obviously, it doesn't have the reach, but it is a nice neck, isn't it? For £400, there was a guy from America that was saying just the neck alone from Warmouth would be that.
Yeah,
you would. Oh, it would be more than that. It would probably, and I priced it at about $600 to $800 for a flame neck like that. Yeah,
and they have the wood is really stable because it was in the garage for the last couple of months, really, because I wasn't using it. And then a couple of days ago, I took it out, brought it into the house, and with the heat and everything, and the neck barely moved. That's all with tuning and everything. So both guitars okay. I'm doing my part of the job.
Wood.
I'll message Bob saying, remember Paul, send him a guitar, please.
Here's Rafa. Thanks, mate.
Okay.
But what is this?
Aristides, isn't it?
Look at that.
Even it's not even a wood fretboard. It's a rich light.
It's your color, Paul.
I love that.
It's this Arium material on the inside. It's an epoxy resin of some sorts, and it's lined with carbon fiber.
Wow.
It's the most resonant guitar I've ever owned.
Is it?
It's unbelievable. Yeah. It'll just ring out forever. The whole thing vibrates. It's insane. I know you can't hear it over this, but here's the back.
Whoa, look at that. So what's it made out of?
It's made out of, like, I think epoxy resins lined with carbon fiber sheets filled with some proprietary Arium material that they fill it inside there. It's like little, I think it's got little cells of little bubbles types of material. That's and stainless steel frets.
That's
really
great.
Well put together. This got the Fluence single coils in it.
And price wise, is it expensive?
I would say this is like $3,600 maybe, somewhere's in that zone to buy. But then if you bring it into the States, you got to pay the duties and stuff. So you're looking at probably almost $4,000 by the time you get done. But it weighs like 5 pounds. It weighs nothing.
Oh, that's great.
And look at this. This is ingenious. Dual jacks. So depending on where you want to play, how you want the guitar to sit, kind of like a Strandberg, or what kind of battery pack or the transmitter pack you have, or you could plug into whichever position you want, here or here.
That's very smart. That's very smart.
It's really, really cool. And then the charging, obviously, the charging unit is in the back. And
What's the charging?
battery.
That's
for the Fluon system, yeah. And then the battery pack is there.
That's great, isn't it?
Pretty cool.
And I love the way that these, some of these manufacturers are really sort of pushing the boundaries of what guitars could be, as opposed to just sticking to all of my favorite sort of classic designs and stuff. They're pushing it.
Like I said, some people are into it, some people are not. I bought it because I was interested in trying it. The guy that runs the company is amazing, a really nice guy, super nice. But it's fun to play at the desk. But at the same token, it's a lot of money to be sitting around when I'm playing other stuff. And I just don't see me, if I was in a band, I don't see me on stage playing this. It just doesn't go with my vibe. So I just,
if you were playing,
it's one of those things.
Alan Holdsworth covers, it'd be fine.
Right. If I could also play Alan Holdsworth covers, I would probably be skipping around.
There is that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It looks cool, mate. It looks really good.
Yeah, it's not bad. So I want to probably sell it. I'm just going to try to stick with the Holy Trinity, maybe, if possible. I'm lying. It's not going to happen. But you know what? We could all try. You know what I mean? That's the best we can do.
And are you going to NAMM?
You know what? I want to go to NAMM. I've never been. I would love to go. I just didn't want to go by myself and then fly to California, and then be by myself. I wanted to share it with somebody, so I have somebody to talk to. I just didn't kind of want to roam around by myself like some weirdo. You know what I mean? So it's kind of.
Where in the US are you?
I'm in Florida, so it's on the other side of the.
Right.
Well, the gamut. So I mean,
we're going to be there from Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Yeah.
Wednesday, yeah. We'll be. We might be conscious from Wednesday.
You guys gonna stay for the whole weekend? The whole week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might think about going. I was gonna try to get a ticket and go, and I think it's one of those like bucket list things that for me, just this is my thing. Like just into the gear and just hanging out and talking about it. I think it would be like a bucket list thing for me to do.
You should do it.
So.
Do it. If you haven't been, it's an experience.
All right. Yeah, I think you talked me into it. I think I probably will go then.
All right.
Cool. That's a good idea.
Give us a shout. We'll have a meet up. Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. That sounds great. All right. Sounds good. I appreciate you guys.
Cheers, Vinny, and you, mate. Take care.
You too.
See you soon, mate.
Well,
So
that went.
We're out here and then we've done nothing.
That went to a place. Awesome.
I like that. That's fun.
Yeah. Do you want to do some news?
Yeah. I'm not sure we're going to get through all of the comments.
I don't think we are, but we'll do our best. We have to just do 1 second. We have to just do
Travis.
This one. Boom.
Cheers, Travis. Thank you, sir. He says, here's a brilliant idea. When a company makes an inexpensive limited edition guitar, they actually make it limited. It's a funny thing that about. Do you know what? I was looking to buy some art the other day for our house, and the way that you can go into a gallery and they make things limited and charge ridiculous amount of money for stuff, and it's the same. Gibson are quite good with that, but with inexpensive guitars, yes, you're right, mate.
It's like my Slash picture.
Yeah,
that's a limited run, and you go. So when are the next 500 of these going to come out? No, there aren't. It's a limited run. You go, right, okay, that's good because that makes it exclusive. That gives it some value, effectively. You're telling me now in however long we've had it that it's worth X, and there won't be 500 more appearing in the next 2 years.
Yeah,
because that would be crap.
Absolutely. Right, should we do the news then?
Indeed.
Okay. We're not going to get through all the questions, are we?
No, never in a million years.
Okay. Entire screen. I know I have to talk through it. I thought, and thanks to Greg for letting us know about this. So Mark Knopfler selling off all his guitars. I mean, talk about like this. I actually think this would be my dream if I could get one of Mark Knopfler's guitars, because you know, he's one of the reasons why I started playing guitar. You know, my dad was and my dad is a massive Dire Straits fan, and not that one there. I don't want that one. That's a dog.
Although that is a great Pensa Sir guitar,
Yeah,
that's not the Pensa Sir that I want of his.
no, that's a dog. That one, isn't it?
I want the on every street guitar.
Yeah, I mean,
Jeez. Oh.
He's got that Schecter telly, which is quite cool. He has got 325 for sale. Blonde one, wrong color. So anyway, yeah. So Martin Knopfler's doing that. Don't know why he's doing it, but he's doing it.
Yeah, it wasn't made very clear in the video, but
it wasn't. No. Bad Cat have released their new amplifier, which is called a Jet Black. What's it called? It's called the Jet Black. Right. Funny enough, Tosin Abassi is using this amp.
Mm-hmm.
So Tosin Abassi has stopped using Axe Effects.
Yeah, he of Animals as leaders. Yeah.
And now he's using Bad Cat amps, which I think is
that's quite a U-turn, isn't it? From, you know, the sort of music that he plays, and he is, you know, technically incredible.
Oh yeah, he's incredible. Yeah,
not the sort of thing that you'd first and foremost go, vintage style valve amp.
Yeah, I mean, I heard a demo of it. One of the channels released a demo. I thought it sounded terrible.
Right. Okay.
But the demo, it's just the demo sounded terrible. And I'm sure this amp sounds absolutely amazing. It's such a shame that the demo did sound terrible, but they're not cheap. It's 2,199 and 2,400.
Wow.
But yeah, Dean are doing are causing a bit of trouble. Dean have basically stuck two fingers up at Gibson and releasing more Gibson style guitars.
Love it.
Yeah, it's quite funny. I guess they think that, you know, they've got nothing left.
It's do or die now, isn't it, for them?
Well, they've got nothing left to lose. I mean, you know, it looks like the company's going down, and yeah, so they're just going, well, stop this. Let's have some fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
And fair play to them. Gibson Adam Jones Flying V. Anyone into that?
No,
absolutely not. That is wrong in so many different ways. And it's $21,500.
Sorry, I thought you just said $21,500.
Yeah, you'd think that I got that.
Jeez.
Absolutely bonkers.
They're going to sell 5.
No, well, no, I mean, I don't get it. This is the thing about Gibson. This is what Gibson are doing. Gibson are grabbing the older musicians, and I'm not saying Adam Jones isn't a fantastic musician. He is. He's absolutely brilliant. But that's what Gibson are doing. They're grabbing the old legacy artists and they're going, right, because I think what they're doing is they're trying to sell to people that liked those bands back in the day,
who now have money, like dentists and lawyers and
yeah, exactly. The 40 to 60-year-olds, and they're going, right, these are the people with money. Let's base basic guitars on them. But I wouldn't even spend $1,000 on that. That's hideous.
It's not pretty.
God, it's horrible. Anyway, and lastly, Kurt seems to like it. The affordable greenie, which is the Epiphone greenie, and they've actually put a proper Gibson headstock on it.
Yeah, it's controversial.
It's controversial. But as I can't remember who said, was it Rafa that said €1,700?
Yeah, for an Epiphone.
Jesus, I mean, no. Who's going to buy that?
Well, Metallica fans who can't afford. But the thing is, you can buy a proper Les Paul for less money than that.
I would rather go on eBay and go and get. You could go and get a really nice standard for that.
Yeah, you can get a studio for a lot less than that.
Yeah, but you can. Yes, you can probably buy a studio new for less than that. Yeah, you're right. But anyway, so there's that. Let's get to the questions.
Wow.
Do that.
Should we do a quick? No, we'll do it next week. We got time.
I love that. I've seen that. When did Pitbull get into guitar gear?
Hang on a sec. Let's get to boom. We're going to start there. I'm going to be a bit picky. I'll be a bit picky now. I'm not going to do all the evening alls and stuff because otherwise we're just not going to get through it.
Okay, let's bung through it. Let's do it. Funky evening all Mississippi evening star. I see Mark Knopfler selling guitars. It's going to be like a dentist next year. Unfortunately, so yeah, none of us poor people are going to get anywhere near those. I'm afraid. Daniel says, looking forward to Paul's review of the Doctor's E amp. That comes out tomorrow.
Lovely.
Honestly, that amp's fantastic. Jeff Cook says, good morning. Hope everyone's doing better than my Boss DD500. The screen died after a few weeks. At least it's under warranty. That is a shame, mate. Boss are really good at that sort of stuff. So, yeah, go and get that changed out, and you'll be as good as new. Francis, evening, guys. Opinions on the Japanese Ibanez RG470s and the Ibanez V8 from pickups. I think all Ibanez stuffs now is pretty good. Yeah. The 470. I'm guessing that's one of the cheaper range. I don't know the 470. I will look more into it though. But the Ibanez, if you like that sort of stuff, it's great.
We should do this at least.
Mr. Moxie. Cheers, mate. He said, nice one, gents. Watching half speed. Good content as always. Now, you're probably watching at full speed. We're at half speed.
Yeah, probably something like that.
But cheers, Pat.
Boom, let's go there.
Ronnie says, I found it interesting that on a major music radio station in the UK, Radio 2, they pronounced the K in Mark Knopfler's surname when talking about him selling his guitars. Really? That is shocking.
I'd love to know which Radio 2 DJ did that, because you'd hope it wasn't Joe Wiley or someone who has a history with music.
That is shocking.
Mark Knopfler. Oh my god.
That is terrible. Come on, from a radio station.
Hi, we're listening to Mark Knopfler. Oh jeez, it's just wrong on so many levels. Boom, here we go.
Triple. He said, Teddy question: what can be done to tame the volume of an overly loud G string? I play Fender Player Telly with no caster pickups. Nothing, I'm afraid. The pole pieces aren't adjustable on the telly. That is weird. I wonder why. I'd take that into a tech. I'd take that into a tech because that's really weird. That's really weird. Sorry, we can't help on that, but that is weird.
No problem.
Jeff said Paul's door looks sad and dreary without the Pete Thorne hanging next to it. It's all right. Paul McKean says, I bought a Jet 400 and going to change the pickups for Iron Gear HSS. Set a new wiring harness. Nice one.
That Iron Gear stuff's great.
There we go. K Sharp. James rocks on guitar yesterday. Look out, Paul. Yeah, you did a good job on that.
It's good fun.
Rock on Gibbo, good evening, chaps. Do you have any experience with noises pickups? We get a lot of this question, actually. I do a lot of recording theatre work, and the hum is driving me mad.
That's what a volume pedal's invented for.
Yeah, definitely. I think James is right there. Look, if you're doing theatre work where the performance is more important, or where the job you're doing is more important than the tone, then go for it. If you're concerned, if you want those pickups to sound as good as a set of noisy pickups, forget it. It's not going to happen. But maybe in the theatre that's more important because they want to get the job done.
Yeah.
So you'd have a guitar for that.
And as much, unless you're playing "We Will Rock You" or School of Rock, you're probably not the most important thing in the pit.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but it's probably not the case.
Okay, Sharp. If you got to put his white finish between them, there we go. He did. And he said that, I think.
Yes.
Steve, he says, yo, Rafa, I think you did a great job. Looks killer. I think it looks killer too. Shahar, interesting to see James' demo guitar rig. Can't wait to see Paul's drum demo. That wouldn't be good.
That I would like to see.
not want to do that.
Right, it's just, I'm being selective. I'm just trying to get us through.
Caesar's Rent. I recently got a Golden Summit HT for $1,100 total with shipping, and it's as nice as any of the 2 to 3K American made guitars I was looking at. Yeah, Godan were in contact about a month ago, and again, it all went quiet.
Shame. Great stuff. I love some of their guitars.
Yeah. Jeff Rock, I like to imagine the Relic thing started with damaged guitars and Fender and Gibson CEOs having trading places type $1 bet, damaging them more, quadruple the price and sell them. That would be funny, wouldn't it?
Yes. Boom. Let's go there.
Let's have Rafa on next week. Who needs the rats? Absolutely. I'd rather watch them. Phil says, seeing Rafa's Fret King guitars in the PRS 335 discussion, I have a Fret King John Etheridge Semi. Have you ever tried these? I've never tried one.
No, me neither.
Nice. Not cheers, Phil. I'll have a look though. Vidisic, he says, hi Paul. Do you sold your Pete Thorne guitar again? Yes, I've sold it again. Again. I might get another one at some point. Jeff Rock said Mike Rutherford has used Shergold since the 70s.
He has.
Just going back to the Pete Thorne. Yeah, I'm looking for. I just have a change up every now and again, just to just for the channel. So I sold that guitar and I'm looking for something else to get, and it's just a way of doing videos. And if I'm not using guitar very much, it means that I can update something. It's all fun.
Hang on, let me go.
Thomas says I have a 1976 Shergold Masquerader. Nice. Gablem Ortizo, he said, should I sell my Bosch GT1000? Follow-up question. What should I get in exchange for that? Well, the Bosch GT1000's got great effects to it. Have a look at getting a Tonex to complement the GT1000.
Yes.
So use Tonex as a front end and then your GT1000 for your effects. That's what I would do.
Great shout.
Frank Bailey, imagine Gibson buying back 59 Les Pauls for 80% of the original sale price. $208. Nice.
Boom.
Caesar's Revenge. JTT mentioned Reverend. In my opinion, they're insanely good guitars for the dollar. The Reverend Sensor I have is the most versatile single pickup guitar ever that I've ever seen. Nice.
Boom.
Jeff says, my experience trading in, you will get 2/3 of what the shop will sell for.
Yeah.
Shep says, Paul Drew, I saw your video on the Gibson 335. Did you consider the one with the smaller body, the ES339? I don't. The thing about 339 for me, I think they're great. I just don't. It's a funny thing. It's almost like I imagine the people that buy a 339 are men of a certain age that have bad backs. That's how I've always seen it. Because it's just like, it's a bit more comfy. It's like if you want a 335, you want a 335, and you suffer the inconvenience of it being a bit like that.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
The 339 is like, I don't know. I mean, they're all great. It's a nice guitar. I hope I haven't affected anybody with that. Shahar said, when did Pitbull get into guitar gear?
Yeah, nice.
Rafa, sorry guys, I didn't see the comments from earlier. So I mean,
so I'll bundle through because he's chatting. Boom.
Fernando says, hey chat, anyone knows what sample rate IRs to use with Tonex? Oh, I don't know. Most IR playback loaders take all sample rates. Normally when you buy IRs as well, it normally comes in 48 and 96 and maybe 44. So you just try some different ones. Try 96, I would, first of all. Funky says that Magnatone is great. It has an EQ circuit which basically switches between the tweed champ and the black panel champ. Nice. Paul Gardner says definitely a sickness, and Paul is a super spreader.
Right, hang on, let's get boom, let's go there.
Nectaris says, evening rats, I really like the sound of neural DSP plugins and I've done a lot of recording through them. Currently thinking of trying them live in jazz cafe gigs. What do you think? Would you? Yeah, I think I think, I mean, computers are pretty reliable now. The fact that now your DSP are able to, or they're starting to port over the plugins onto the Quad Cortex, I think makes it even more of a game changer. As soon as they do that, I think the Quad Cortex will be really popular.
Yeah, I just think I won't say we got in too early, but we got in before it was finished.
Yeah, I agree. I agree it wasn't finished. Shahar, you can tame the lounge G-string by wearing pants. There we go. David, he says, "Hi, what's your opinion of the JHS Nauticlon kit pedal?" I think it's a genius, absolute genius bit of marketing, and I think what did he sell? Didn't they sell like 50? Was it? They sold. No, was it 6,000 of them in the first day?
Makes sense.
Absolutely brilliant.
It totally makes sense.
He's an absolute genius.
Yeah, and hilarious with it, which is always great.
Yeah, he's good. He's good going. David says, "James, are you left-handed?"
Certainly am, even though that looks like I'm right-handed, but I am left-handed. Yes.
That was weird, because that's my right hand. Oh, don't be left hand. What's going on? How come I'm holding up my right hand and you're holding up your right hand and it's the same?
I know. I don't understand how it works, but all I know is I have to do. If I do that to point to you, I'm pointing in the wrong direction. If I point that way, I'm pointing at you.
Oh wow! How mad is that?
Yeah.
Think of Blasting for Dummies, guys. I bought a Glary bass from eBay, brand new, 75 quid, delivered within 36 hours of ordering, and actually sounds and plays really good. Unbelievable, nice one. Shahar says, "If you ever lose your vision, get a James Tyler guitar." Do you know what? I'd love a James Tyler.
I can't go over the headstock.
I can't go over the headstock either.
The headstock looks like I'd want to take a saw to it to cut off half the James Tylers.
Yeah. The thing about it, yeah, it almost looks like the headstock looks like
it's been glitched.
Yeah, it looks like a glitch, but it also looks like a headstock blank. It looks like a neck blank that they've just gone, as opposed to shaping, they've gone, oh, that'll do. But they're the ultimate. It's the ultimate super Strat.
Yeah, they're great guitars. Great guitars.
I'd love it.
The other one that everyone's forgotten about is Vigier. God, they made some great guitars.
They made some rotters as well, mate.
They did, but I've played a couple of really nice ones and gone, oh, this is nice. Boom.
Jeff says, ES339 versus 335. I prefer a 339 because it's got similar dimensions to a Strat or a Les Paul. The 335 is big and cumbersome. It is.
I like a 335 because I like big and cumbersome.
I think a 335 is such a cool looking guitar.
Yeah.
To me, the 339 isn't. It just isn't as cool, and I know that's a ridiculous statement, and it is. I'm embarrassed myself. Johnny Love, hit the like button if you like before you go. Oh yeah, cheers, Johnny. Yes, give us a like if you like it. If you don't. It really does help. It really does help.
We've got a little bit of time, haven't we? We've raced through those really quickly.
Yeah,
nice.
Great.
Should we do my show and tell?
Go on then.
Because early part of when's the 5th? It's the 3rd, 4th, 5th of December. Is the next Gardiner Hallgate auction. Nice. For those of you who, quite frankly, where have you been? I've been doing all right in the auctions. I don't think I've bought any shockers yet. I don't think.
We bought that.
Possibly that Strat.
No, that Explorer. That's a shocker.
Oh no, the Explorer is awesome. You're just wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you my list of the things I'm looking at in the next round of auctions.
Let's have a look. Go on then.
Right, I'm going to start down here purely because I can. Ignore these two. These were in last time round that I haven't got around to sorting out yet.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but yes, please.
Yeah.
That is a Gary Moore signature, and I want it.
All day long.
I want it really rather badly, but I know I probably won't end up having it because it'll go for. I think it'll go higher than $3,000.
Yeah, that would definitely go higher than $3,000.
But it looks in amazing condition.
Show me the case. I click on the case picture. Nice.
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 I want that, but I probably won't end up with that.
No, that.
There's a couple.
Oh,
No, I want to scratch this Brian May itch.
oh.
Because if one goes for, 200 or 300 quid, that's not a bad guitar for that sort of money. And it is a very different sounding guitar.
Oh.
Clearly, Paul's not amused.
Oh, God, I hate them.
Now, that would be very nice.
That's awesome.
That would be very, very lovely.
That's the Randy Rhoads Marshall.
Yes.
That's quite sought after. I don't. How much is? What's that? What's that up for?
It is. They think it will go for, but 800 to 1,200.
They haven't got a clue, have they? I don't know. I don't know how they put their prices. Did they just put these estimates up just to entice people?
Probably.
That's not going to go for 1,200 quid. That'll be $3,000.
I'd like it to go for 1,200 quid because if it does, I'll have it.
You don't need another 4x12, mate.
I know I don't, but I want the head. And for obvious reasons, I want the head. Now, that's quite interesting.
How much? 46.
For a 70 Eastman.
Looks like it's been. I don't know. Yeah, I think you're buying. I mean, I don't know. I think you're buying a whole load of hurt with that.
That I like the looks of.
What's going on with the Amazon boxes?
I have no idea what the two boxes are for.
Original parts. Replaced.
Yeah. Does this mean it's a dud?
No, not necessarily. It depends what.
That's all. It's been converted to UK voltage, original transform, and with later foot switch.
Nice. I mean, personally, I prefer that. I prefer that if it's been converted because I don't want to carry around a transformer.
800 to 1,200 quid. It'll go higher than that because it's a Showman. I think it'll go higher than that.
Well, I don't think it will, but
so purely because.
Yes.
Purely because, but if it stays for those sort of numbers, I want it.
Yeah.
Fender Concert, I put that in because I want to see what it goes for. Because obviously, having just sold mine again, I was kind of like quite curious.
That was quite good condition.
Just because.
What's that?
Well, a Strat type body to put on the Gilmore parts.
I cannot even work out what is going on with that.
It's just been abused, isn't it? It's great. I love it.
So you're picking one. So you're taking off one knackered looking, really badly done Relic for another one.
Well, I think that looks really well done, though. I think it looks like it's done quite well. Okay, just
here to me. Don't get me wrong. That's the whole carver. That's weird. That's weird, mate.
Oh, really? Okay, fair enough.
Hey, look, if it's 40 quid, yeah.
There's some bits and pieces and like some hardware and mics and stuff that I'm looking at just because if it goes for those sort of numbers,
go back down.
What?
Up a bit. No, up a bit. You're going too far. Keep going up. Stop.
Yep.
Oh yes.
Now, if that goes, I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, I love it. I love the MP1.
Yeah, if that goes for that's those sort of numbers, I'm having it because that's a great piece of kit.
If it works. Yeah.
There's some other hardware for the studio that I quite like. Some bits and pieces, a couple of microphones and bits. Now, if that goes for 2.2, which it won't,
mate, that's not even a great price.
is it not?
Ah,
Oh, all right. Shame. Oh well. This is why I have this discussion with you before I start bidding.
Yeah, I mean, if you get it for £2,000,
Yeah.
if you get it for 2.2, I would say, yeah, that's worth buying. I'm not going, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah. Ooh,
There's
now
another
we're
one.
talking.
There's another one.
So what's that? So it's a 1975.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a nice guitar. That looks nice.
Very lovely.
And it's got the blocks.
Yeah. That I like a lot.
It's like mine.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a classic. Okay.
I don't know what that means entirely, but oh, sorry, wrong way.
Yeah, great. Nice.
Looks in good condition.
Yeah.
Now this purely, I appreciate that it's an SE for a start, but I thought there's a very interesting video comparing an SE that looks as pretty as that with F holes in to your quite expensive one. And I just thought, at the moment, it's up for about 240 quid. That's ridiculous.
That's not a hollow one though. That's a semi.
Right.
And it's a Zach Miles. I mean, I possibly wouldn't. It's not my sort of thing, but
it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Only because I saw them. I thought I'd keep an eye on them. That I quite liked.
It was the band. I want to know what that is.
I don't know.
Yeah. How old is it? 69.
Yeah.
Oof. How much is that?
1,800. It'll go higher than that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, yes, it should do. It should do in good condition. It should be more than that. But
it looks good, Nick.
Yeah, but mate, it's a whole world of hurt if that doesn't work properly.
Yeah.
There will be something you have to do on that.
Oh yeah, almost definitely. Only because I've had these before and sold them quite quickly for a half decent profit. That I think it's laughable, the fact that I can't get rid of mine I can't get rid of my JCM 900 for 350 quid, and there's already a bid on 400 for just the head.
Yeah,
crazy.
That's the head. Heads are more sought after than the combo.
Yeah. Again, only because it's there, and I thought I'd have a look at see what it goes for.
Yeah,
3,500. A JCM 2000 with a 4x12. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Oh my god, you love it, didn't you? How many 4x12s have you got at the moment?
2 at the minute.
I've tried one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some bits and pieces. I thought I can always build stuff if I've got bits and pieces.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Some interesting stuff. It's in a couple of weeks. It's on it's the I can't remember exactly the 5th of December it starts.
Nice.
All the craziness starts.
Nice.
So yeah, there's some interesting stuff there. Some stuff that I hope that will force me to have to go and down and see my brother down in Bath for a day.
Nice.
Let me take that away. Let's get through these last comments and then we can call it a night, as they say. Let's just get to boom.
Shahar says, found out that the guy that started Bad Cat came from Matches. Yeah, Phil. No, not Phil. No, Sampson. Mark Sampson was the original guy from Matchless.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Bad Cat, but he's no longer with Bad Cat as well. So tends to move on quite a bit. But yeah. So the early Bad Cat Cubs are basically the same as a C30,
right?
And a lot cheaper. K Sharp 10. No one has done a magnetone pack for Tonix yet, or fractal Helix units.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, fractal and Helix aren't.
You can't capture. No,
can't capture on fractal and Helix. But tone, that's true. I wonder why someone hasn't done a magnetone. Maybe a magnetone would be a good. I was going to buy a magnetone as well, wasn't I? Do you remember the Gibbons one?
Yeah.
Should have bought Funky says, I have a 359 because I was the only bidder on eBay 10 years ago. Nice one. Dave Bruce, I too am a lefty. Do you think it's why we're so more roundly talented than the righties?
No comment.
Finger Blasting says, I did a show and tell once, ended up in the jail. Jahar Bar says, the Gary Moore Sig is gorgeous. It is nice, isn't it? I fancy that as well.
Yes.
Case by Elvis, apparently. What was that? What was the case?
It was quite gaudy colours when it was one of those bright pink cases.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, how am I going to pronounce that? Verendilikijgurt. Sorry for butchering that. James Tyler, Sir, and Tom Anderson are the best S types. The Sir is a Ferrari, the Anderson is an i11 turbo, and the Tyler is some V10 muscle car. I can't fancy Tyler. If they didn't do those horrible paint colours as well.
Yeah.
It's like the sick ones. They're just it's a weird aesthetic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Finger Blasting says, I scratched Brian May's itch once, ended up in the jail. There we go. Andy Maidment says, used gear prices appear to be tanking. They do. Do you not think? Be interested to see if the auction results. Don't forget the buyer's premium pop pickers. It's true.
Yes, it is 26.5% on top, of which some of that is VAT. So no, but if you're VAT registered, you get that back.
Sure.
So it does all work out. It's basically 6.5% buyer's premium with VAT. So it's there's a price to pay, but stuff.
Jeff Rock, James, have you ever sold at this auction house?
No, I have not. Because
do you fancy doing that?
I don't. I think eBay gives better prices, if I'm honest.
Well, you haven't sold your JCM 900, so why not?
No, but I don't. I haven't sold my JCM 900 because I don't really want to sell my JCM 900. There's a difference. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what I don't think I need to sell anything badly enough right now to start doing that.
Okay.
I've sold a couple of computers recently as well, so that's helped me out a bit.
Jeff says, I had a red special like the lot 371 on the auction with the optional Hiscox case. It was pretty ordinary. I ended up selling it to someone who wanted it, regardless of whether it was good or not. That's it. I just think it's for Queen fans. It's not for guitar fans.
I played Dan Cooper's couple. And they play. I liked it, I liked it because I just wanted to go.
Do not get that guitar, Jeff. When you were racing through the comments, you skipped over my comment about Vinny's new Strat with the 6105 frets. Oh, sorry, Jeff. Sorry, mate. James's fault. What's your opinion of the tall narrow frets? I can't stand them. I'm trying to think if I've got anything with tall narrow fret. I wonder if my Squire's got tall narrow.
What have I got that's got anything like?
No, they're mediums. I don't know. I have had that green Strat that I had.
Yeah, that was lovely.
That tall narrow. No, I quite liked it. Yeah, they don't bother me actually. I think the only frets I cannot get on with are the old vintage ones. The really low
mandolin wire type thing.
Yeah, like the original custom shop Strats. What they did was they made them exactly like an old vintage guitar, and stick fat frets on it. That's what everyone wants. Jeff Brock says, I like my red special. It's more of wall art though. That's exactly what I feel about them. Just wall art. Ah, here he is. He's close to getting a telly. What telly are you thinking of getting?
He can't type either, but hey.
Oh, good man. See, he came over the other day. And he played through my telly, and he's now got a telly bug. Lee, don't buy anything, mate, unless you're going to get a one of your jets or something, because there might be a telly that's coming, a proper telly that I might be able to sort you out with. Zipeps, €5. Hi, Studio Rats people. Oh, thanks, Zipeps. Sorry, mate. I was thinking
you're
about
in aren't you?
Haven. Yeah, the person I said, Zipep's €5. Thanks. That's really kind of you, mate. That's really generous. He says, "Hi, Studio Rats people. Do you have any go-to volume pedal? I just got the Only Ball 40th anniversary with Kevlar cable. I can really feel the difference." Oh, nice one.
I used a Boss one forever.
Yeah, I've got loads of Boss. I've even got some that aren't even opened. No, the Only Ball ones are great because they're really chunky and they're really heavy duty. I really like those Only Ball.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, good purchase, mate.
With M, beginning with M.
M.
Who do controller pedals and stuff. Mission. Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
Mission stuff to me looks like it's rehoused.
Yeah.
And even if you look inside a Mission pedal, it's got Dunlop parts in it. So I think it's just rebadged. Not the opinions of the Studio Rats, just my own. You know, if you look at the pot inside a Mission Engineering pedal, it's exactly the same. The pedal is exactly the same as a Dunlop wah pedal, and the pot inside it is a Dunlop pot. So, you know, go figure.
Cool. Well, there we go. Shahar says, yeah.
He's in type. Typing correctly is overrated. It is, mate. You're not wrong.
Well, we got there. We got to the bottom in the end. Sorry for racing through that, boys and girls, but we got there in the end. I didn't think we have as much time as we had.
I enjoyed that.
I did too. Thanks for the guys for coming on. Thanks to my brain's gone. Rafa, and to Vinny for coming on and spending some time with us. Nice additions to the show. We like that. It's a bit of fun. Please, folks, like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that sort of stuff. I know we harp on about it, but it really makes a difference. It also makes a difference to the algorithm when you guys do things like that, because it means it gets shown up in your feed and stuff, so you get more of the stuff that you like, which apparently is really important. Who knew? We'll be back next week with more of the same. Hopefully we'll have some more fun with anyone who wants to drop in, quite frankly. So yeah, everyone have a great week. Take care, everyone, and we will see you again very, very soon. Good night.
Cheers, guys.